Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life. On this episode, I want to talk about more along the lines of business success. And the reason why I've chose to talk about business success is I just recently finished a book called The World is Flat by author Thomas Friedman. And in this book, he talks about globalization. He says that globalization has been happening and is continuing to happen, and it's reached a third stage. It's reached three stages. The first stage he coins globalization 1.0, and this happened from 1492 up until 1800. Now, during globalization 1.0, the agents of globalization at that time were the actual governments and countries. What they would do, they would go to other countries, proselytizing, trying to get people to change their religion, trying to coerce the indigenous native people to change their religion, and also to exploit these particular areas of the resources that they had. So the agents of the first globalization period were actually the governments. Now, the second globalization period took place between 1800 until 2000. Now, in this time, this was the time of the Industrial Revolution. Many things were happening in the world. The world got smaller because of transportation, new advances in transportation, communication. Things were moving. Communication happened at a faster pace. Travel, advancements in travel. All of these things caused the world to get smaller. Now, the agent of this change, of the second globalization, were the multinational companies. Now, I've traveled all over the world. I've been in the military, I traveled, and outside of the military, I've traveled all over the world. Every place I've went, I've seen a McDonald's, a Burger King, a place in recent years, I've seen places like Walmart and other multinational companies that I didn't have any idea before reading this book, that I really didn't have understanding of a multinational company. Now, the third prospect, the third globalization phase of globalization is called globalization 3.0. And in globalization 3.0, he talks about how in this phase so many jobs and a lot of resources from America and Western Europe are going to places like India. How companies are actually big companies, multinational companies, are moving to places like India. They're setting up shop. GE has a headquarters in India, and a lot of other major companies that we know have a major satellite location in India. Now, I'm pretty sure that everybody knows, every time that we call for technical support for our Microsoft systems, that we are actually talking to somebody from India. I know that everybody knows that, no matter what their name is, if it's Bob, Tommy, or John, we're talking to someone from India. Now, what happens is the people in India, they will work for less. And, because it takes less to live there. So if they get $5 an hour, it's good for them and for the company. Now, in America, that same job would have to pay somebody between $15 and $17 an hour. So the company goes with the cheaper cost, because the company has no loyalty to the individual or to a state, because it's a multinational corporation. It has no loyalty to anybody but the company itself and the bottom line. So also in this book, and one of the most terrifying things, the terrifying things to me, is that he quotes a company, a research company that has compiled data. Their name is Forrester, and they've compiled data that says by the year 2015, over 3 million service and professional jobs will be outsourced. They'll be outsourced. So now, when I think of that, in lieu of what has already happened with factories leaving, people losing jobs, businesses closing, people being laid off from jobs that they've been on for long periods of time, it makes me understand the importance of us to start building relationships, business relationships, and start to understand what business is. So the first thing that I want to talk about today is in order for us to be successful in business, we have to understand what is the definition of a successful business. What does being a successful business entail? Now, just knowing that, because if you know the definition of something, then you have a better understanding, and then it's easier for you to implement that thing. So, the definition of a successful business. A successful business is a business that creates something of value that people want or need, and they're willing to pay a price for, and it happens in the way that it meets or exceeds their expectations as far as customer service, and the business provides a profit that makes it worthwhile for the owner to repeat the process over and over again. Now, just by knowing that definition of a business, it opens it up. It opens your understanding up. It puts you on a course to where you need to go. The first thing is creating something of value. This is the first step in creating a successful business, people, is to create something of value. This is foundational. You have to create something of value. And the way that we do that is by doing proper market research. Researching what are the current trends or things of this nature. This is foundational, people. This is something that we have to know. So what I want to do is I'm going to stop right here, and I want you to just marinate on that definition. The definition of a successful business is a business that creates something of value that people want or need, that they're willing to pay a price for, and it happens in a way that exceeds, that meets or exceeds their expectations as far as customer service, and the business produces enough profit to make it worthwhile for the owner to duplicate or to replicate the process over and over again. Okay, so as always, the greatest gift that the Creator has given mankind is the mind. So let's use ours and create the circumstances that we want. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to another episode of Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life. Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life. If there's any comments, questions, or suggestions, please leave them in the box below. And until the next episode of Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life, this is T. Bennett.